Coach, how much fun is it for you to be reunited with Jacoby? Y'all came in as freshmen together back in 2006.
Yeah.
Pretty cool deal. It must seem surreal.
Yeah, we did pick up right where we left off, talking trash to each other. But it's all obviously good. I was just telling them that it's something that we always talked about over the years since I've been back. Is man, just trying to just be on the staff together. Obviously, I had a chance to be alongside with James, and now having Jacoby, obviously, with us three being best friends and stuff like that is great. And somebody that another person that I can really trust in the building, and somebody that you can just talk to outside of just football. And so I know him and his family are excited since they've been back, and just glad to have him back in here. And he's done a phenomenal job with the receivers. He understands it. Obviously, been coaching for a while down in Florida. They won 2 state championships. So, and then he just competitive. So it's just that, just having that type of personality around you, it makes you better.
And if anything, you added speed to the coaching staff.
Yeah, you had more speed. You had more speed.
You guys might be the fastest.
Yeah, I think we got the fastest coaching staff in the country. So if anybody want to try out for about one team, you know where to find us. We're right here in Clemson, South Carolina.
So this backfield with the addition of Chris Johnson, Gideon a year later, give me kind of a perspective on what it's going to look like, what Chris will bring to the table, and then also with the formulas that Chad's bringing.
It's been great. It was a great spring having those guys, and obviously when you can add talent like CJ, obviously it helps your football team. Obviously we know about him, obviously previously recruiting him out of high school and offering him, and then obviously playing against him at SMU when he was at SMU. So we have a great foundation with him, and then now having a chance to go through the spring and kind of get my hands on him and kind of see what he can excel at, it was really good. And then obviously it only helps Gideon as well, because it pushed him as well. And also the other guys, got Easy in there that thought it was his best spring, did a great job really learning this offense. And then obviously you have Jarvis and Jay that's coming along. So I'm really pleased. I'm happy with where we're at in my room. Excited about the competition, and feel confident that each and all those guys can go out there and get it done.
What have you noticed? Does he fit in this offense like he fit in SMU's, or is he going to be doing a lot of different, hitting different levels?
I would probably say similar. I'm not very familiar with how SMU, obviously from what just I seen on tape, but I'm not familiar how much they were really utilizing him. What they was asking them to do. I can only speak for how we're gonna try to utilize his talent and take advantage of what he excels at. And so I'm just excited that he's on our team. I told him he got away from it once. He couldn't get away from it again.
What does he excel at?
Obviously his speed speaks for itself. He's obviously probably one of the fastest dudes on our team. He's a legit 4-2 type player. He's a legit hold your breath. If you miss him, it could be a touchdown. That's just what he brings to the table. And then just his confidence. He's a tougher run than what people think, just probably because of his body frame. But he had some tough runs this spring that was like, okay, this guy can be a complete player. Obviously, there's things that he got to continue to grow at, which all of them have to do. But I'm pleased with where they at right now.
Coach Sweeney said he challenged CJ this spring, kind of like the way his body looks as a football player. Just how do you kind of take that challenge on this spring and entering this 2026 season?
He took it on head on. He challenged him about changing his body, just because he had to been in college for a couple of years and it wasn't right what you would think it would be. But he was very disciplined, and he put his head down and he went to work, and now he's a whole lot stronger, a whole lot bigger than what he was when we obviously signed him out of the portal. But that just speaks credit to just his work ethic and the type of person he is. He's a man of many words, so he just gonna come in and go to work and just stay laser focused. And so I'm pleased at where he at from a body composition standpoint, and I know he's gonna continue to just get better, and that's gonna help his game, because that was something that I told him that we talked about, going through that whole process, that I think that he got to be better at, and I think changing his body will help him be better at that, and that's what he done.
You mentioned competition there. I'm sure the competition is different every year depending on the personnel. How's it different this year compared to maybe a year like last year where you had a guy come in from a different position?
Well, it was, that situation was, what it was, and this year, everybody kind of got a clean slate. It was a new offense. Everybody had to start from ground zero to learn it. Compared to a year ago, whatever. Adam kind of already knew the offense compared to he was just a freshman coming in, and so I think just from that standpoint, it was a clean slate for everybody, and everybody had to start from ground zero. And all those guys, they did a phenomenal job of really learning this offense, really helping each other out. And at the end of the day, it's really just about having just healthy competition. Everybody's going to bring something totally different to the table, and then it's just coach's job to figure out what guys excel at and what they don't excel at. And then you just have to have those open and honest conversations with them. Hey, this is what I think you're really good at. This is what I think you can improve at. And so when those situations or those scenarios arise to the occasion, you want to put those guys in those spots.
That clean slate you mentioned, a lot of people might see that as a negative, but from a coaching perspective, do you like that with everybody kind of being back at ground zero and being able to see where the competition lies?
Yeah, I mean, every year I think you have to start at ground zero. I mean, that's something that I try to ingrain into these guys, especially the running back room. I mean, every year is different. Every year you got to start. So it's got to be a starting point somewhere. But at the end of the day, everybody got to have an opportunity to go out and see what they can do. And so I think if you keep that perspective and that mindset as a player, that's how you get growth. I think if you don't, then you kind of get stagnant. And that's something that I learned from being around Drew Brees in New Orleans. I mean, every year he started from ground zero, even though he had to have been in that offense 15 plus years. Every year was ground zero. You hear Tom Brady talk about it. Every year, ground zero. Ray Lewis, who I had a chance to talk to, every year is ground zero, because every year is different. And so when you keep that perspective as a player, it helps you. It helps you become better. But that's why those guys are great, because that's the mindset that they have.
What does Gideon need to do to make sure he's successful in this offense?
Just be Gideon. Honestly, just be Gideon. I mean, you don't need to go out and try to be anybody else in my room. You just need to go out and just be Gideon and do the things that we ask him to do, and just do it at a high level, which I know he will. He's a kid that loves a challenge, and he loves taking on that challenge, and he wants to get better as a player. And so that's the biggest thing I would tell him: just go out and be Gideon. Put the horse blinders on, forget all the other stuff, all the outside stuff, and just focus on what you need to do to be a great football player.
When it comes to being the run game coordinator, how much is the quarterback position going to factor into the run game when you have a couple of mobile guys battling it out in QB1?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the quarterback run game helps the run game. And so obviously that's something that's always been a big emphasis for Coach Sweeney since he's been here as a head coach, is having a quarterback that can run it, so you can go back and track all the guys that all the quarterbacks that he had that came through this program. All those guys have been able to run the ball, and so obviously that helps it. It keeps defenses honest, and obviously as a running back, it helps you, because now those defenses then they just can't come off the edge teeing off on you, because they have to respect the guy that can pull the ball and go get positive yards. And so obviously it helps us a ton.
With some time removed now, what's maybe the biggest lesson or takeaway that you have from how last season played out that you're going to use into this season?
I don't use anything, honestly, from last year, because it's a new year. I know that might sound boring to some people, but that's just always been my mentality, honestly. There's nothing and that's how I've always been. Even when I was playing, even when I started coaching, I don't try to carry nothing over from previous years. Every year is always new to me, and that's how I look at it. And so I wouldn't say I would carry anything over from last year to this year. I would say it'll be a new year, and it's just like a painter. You got a new canvas, and you got to see how he painted. And so that's what I'm looking forward to seeing how this art turn out.
Chris had 4 catches for SMU here last season. What have you seen from him? What is his skill set like from a pass catching standpoint?
He can catch the ball really well out the backfield, obviously. Especially what Coach Morris want to do offensively. It's just now, for us, it's just all about learning just, the whole concept and, learning coverages and stuff like that, because it's totally different. But he can definitely be a guy that you can move guys that can not just throw him a swing route. Like, this guy can run a corner route, and all those guys have that capability, and you'll feel comfortable with him doing it. And so that's what I've been really pleased with him this spring.
Jay's been out